Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your reading with me. We are just going to dive straight in. If you want to get grounded with me, then I'm just going to do a little sound bowl so we can get grounded and breathe together. But aside from that, you can just jump ahead to your tarot. But for those who want to stay for the sound bowl, let's take a deep breath in. Alrighty. Well, let's get cracking. Let's see what's going on for you guys for maybe what you need to hear right now. Let's leave it at that. All right, let's see. For my Geminis, what I need to hear right now, Spirit, what messages do you want to pass on to them? So you're flexible. This usually comes up when there's a lot of changes going on around you, or that Spirit's giving you a heads up that things are about to change. So be flexible with Spirit and maybe with others too. I always say with this card that the direction that you want to go in might be shifting, but your result will stay the same. So sometimes if we're rigid and stubborn with the universe, with changes, with people around us, we're not allowing ourselves to really grow or go down routes that might be beyond what we could expect for ourselves, right? So being a little bit lenient, knowing what you're worth, of course, and knowing where you want to be in life is important. That's what the egg represents. I represent that. That's your goal. But just be a little bit flexible when it comes down to how it might happen. And that's at least what Spirit's saying. But this can be about relationships too, right? Needing to find compromises there, not being stubborn with your way or the highway, but really being a bit lenient here. Not dismissing your worth, your value, and what you deserve, right? Your goal, but just being a little bit lenient with how you get there. But anyway, let's dive in a bit deeper. But yes, things are going to be changing here in your life. So you're being called to be flexible with the path. All right. And then the full moon in Sagittarius makes a lot of sense because it says, see the bigger picture, right? So there might be some things that you feel you don't want to negotiate or non-negotiables, but Spirit says, zoom out. Will this really matter in a long time? Okay. So whatever you're going through right now, I just want you to see the bigger picture. All right, this could be taking you to things beyond what you could imagine for yourself too. But what they're saying here is that there's intense energies going on, but Spirit wants you to see the bigger picture. Anything else for Gemini? Energies for Gemini right now, what they need to know, what they need to hear from you, Spirit. Passion. I love that so much. And that can be what is grounding you. So this is saying that your passions are yours to own. Don't worry too much about what people think about it, whether people agree with it, whether people judge you for it. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, if you're doing something that you enjoy, that you are passionate about, you're just naturally going to glow in the world because of it. You're naturally going to stand out because of it. And in this specific card, this is actually the princess who loves in her free time to go and read to those who might be a bit lonely, right? There's an elderly person here, but there's a newspaper down here that is actually judging her for it. Who does she think she is? In her free time, she's giving her time and energy to people who might not deserve it. It's about people's opinions are not always correct. Do we need reminding of that, Gemini? So as long as you're doing things that make you passionate, especially for those who are giving to others, right? A lot of you have a really big passion of helping people or inspiring people in some way. So do that. Do whatever makes you passionate, okay? Anything else for Gemini? Maybe it's a good time in life to also just bring more passions in your life, especially if you're not doing that right now, because it's going to help you to glow and grow. Then you have wisdom. Some of you guys could be tapping into some important wisdom during this week. Could be about finding peace. That could be coming from Spirit, right? Could be in your dreams also. So pay attention to words of wisdom. Anything else? It could be a good time to cleanse your space. I'm seeing like sage here. All right, and a dove bud, which is also about finding peace. So making sure that you're setting a good foundation of peace. Some of you could be needing to cleanse your home or your own energy, right? Internal. What else going on for Gemini? Anything else for Gemini? What do they need to know? Thank you. And mysticism. Okay, so that is about an unexpected visitor coming into your life. This could be someone that helps you in some way. We're going to see how that comes up. Of course, it is about mysticism, so maybe it is about doing more woo-woo stuff, especially for those who might be fearing what people think about you. If you're doing things that other people might not like or agree with, tap into your intuition, follow your gut, okay, and follow your inner guidance. That's all that really matters here. Anything else? But yeah, some of you might be surprised by an unexpected visitor. We'll see what that is if it comes up in your reading. So what's the overall energy of this week? Justice, Libran energy. It is about justice. This could be a good time or a big time for legal situations, right? But of course we have the dove bird here, wisdom. It does feel like you are being guided during this week to bring balance. Could make sense with that flexible card. So maybe this is about making things right in relationships, dynamics, to heal the past, for example. It's just about finding peace and finding balance. Fairness. We're going to dive a bit deeper into that. Okay, and the energy of Gemini during this week, 2 of Cups. So yeah, we got connection here. So it's in your energy. So you're feeling like you want to communicate with someone. Maybe you do have feelings for someone, especially for a lot of you. Or you're connecting with people around you. What's the challenge for Gemini during this time? Okay, the 5 of Cups. That's interesting how it's jumping on top of mysticism. So the 5 of Cups is about feeling disappointed, but it is mainly your challenge this week is that you might be feeling a bit more pessimistic and focusing too much on the negatives of a situation or on things that you can't control, or just not owning control in situations. And that might be what's setting you more on a pessimistic side. So maybe it's a really good time to focus on the love that might still be there in connections, right? And how you can both work together to move forward. Okay, see the bigger picture, be flexible, be a little bit more understanding of both sides. That could be important for relationships, but it could just be, again, focusing on a silver lining. What can we learn in the situation? What wisdom can we get from a situation so that we can move forward, learn, grow, become stable, and again, face the sun, right? Sunflowers are about positivity, all right, and learning new things. You're never too old, never too young to learn something new in life, okay? Okay, now let me look into what is the advice from Spirit. 2 of Wands is about your future, right? And it's with mysticism, which is again a bit of that unknown, like something mysterious going on. So that could just represent the fact that there's a lot of unknowns going on in your wall. But the Emperor being there too says that, sure, there's some things that we can't control, but there's a lot of things that we can, right? Especially in terms of a sense of direction that we want to go in, where we're feeling guided to go, what we want out of life. And those are all things that you can control, the Emperor being here. It just is about making it happen. Okay, balancing your feelings and emotions, especially if you're like, oh, I don't feel like it. Or again, this is an emotional thing that is your challenge right now, but let's dive a bit deeper. Okay, why is the Justice card the energy of the week? Okay, King of Pentacles, which would be about some of you, the King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles is interesting because it could be, if you are dealing with legal situations, somebody might not be wanting to pay something out to you, right? And it could be feeling a bit unfair, but Justice is in the upright, so it does feel like something is going to happen in your favor in this situation. King of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles. Just be aware of who you sign contracts with. 4 of Pentacles is stubbornness. So there is an imbalance here. Who's the stubborn energy? 4 of Pentacles. Could be you, just because. 10 of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Could be a good time for savings, by the way, and maybe even a new opportunity for a career. Yeah, Ace of Wands too. So actually this is not that bad. So Ace of Wands, a new beginning. It could be new financial beginning because you're the King of Pentacles. Someone could be giving you a promotion or a new thing to be inspired about, passionate about. 10 of Pentacles is about abundance, but I just want to warn you with the 4 of Pentacles. The 4 of Pentacles is never going to get to the 10 because he's too busy trying to control things, being too stubborn and not being open to new things. And that ends up being his own downfall here. It becomes his own limitation. He's so afraid of letting go because he's got a scarcity mindset and a stubborn mindset that he will never achieve the 10. So for a lot of you, it is of course about being flexible with situations so that you can actually grow and evolve. So maybe if someone's coming in to give you a new opportunity, but it might be outside your comfort zone, or maybe you just, want to do things your way, but this is actually going to help you get to an abundance quicker. It could be a windfall, etc. Some of you need to be a bit more flexible here, especially in terms of contracts, and see the bigger picture, right? What are you actually working towards? Because this way of being is not going to help you. But it could be someone around you who is the stubborn person, so just be mindful of that. can't really change people, can we? But Justice card being here just feels like a good balance. And again, really good contracts coming up for you, especially maybe this is where things that you're passionate about, but maybe you feel like, oh, this is not going to take me anywhere. So I'd rather be where I am, which is stuck, than to accept something that I don't even know if it's stable, but it's coming from a stable person. So, okay, what else? 2 of Cups coming through here. Why is this in the energy of Gemini? 4 of Wands, really good for connections, by the way. The Death card, so there needs to be some sort of change, or there is going to be a change coming up for you. But the 4 of Wands is something to be celebrated. So whether this means that you guys are moving right away from a place that is not serving you, maybe getting in the way of your dynamic. The Death card does represent transformation. Maybe it's a heart to heart, right? That's going to help you guys get out of a situation where you feel a little bit like someone might not be taking you seriously, or feeling seriously, and vice versa. You're both feeling left out in the cold here. Heart to hearts are important with the 2 of Cups. 4 of Wands is a coming together of 2 people, engagement. So that could also be why there's a shift in a relationship. It could be going to a new level. Anything else for the 2? And if it's not to do with love, by the way, it can again be that you're celebrating a goal in some way. 2 of Cups could be that meeting with someone that could, again, create some celebration and change in your life. But the Death card in your energy too can represent that you are also changing too. It's quite a big thing. So again, heart to heart is important. Why is the 5 of Cups here in a challenge position? The Chariot, is time to move forward. It's time to move on. All right. No more. You can be, there's nothing wrong with dwelling and feeling upset about things, but Spirit's just saying with this, don't let it consume you, and don't let it stop you from moving forward and chasing your dreams and goals. Chariot is about moving forward. You guys could be dealing with a Cancer sign, Libra energy, Scorpio coming through too, but it really is just about you chasing your dreams and goals. Don't allow this, because the only way this is actually going to get in the way, don't allow this to set you back. Yes, some cups are spilled. Maybe you can't use certain things anymore because someone ruined it. I don't know what it is. Someone may have upset you, and that's felt like a little bit being put off track. But the Chariot says you have the power to get on track again, okay? And both of these things in life, right, yin and yang, can actually help us to move forward more passionately and more ambitiously. So using your feelings and your setbacks as some sort of silver lining can be very helpful. 2 of Wands being the advice. The Ace of Swords, get clear on your dreams and goals. They don't have to just be dreams. They can actually be a reality. So let's get up and start going towards it, right? Let's figure out where we want to go. Anything else for this as advice? 2 of Wands is also about expansion as well. So don't be afraid to think big things, right? See the big picture. Where do you want to go? In the long term. Ace of Swords, King of Cups. Again, it could be a really good conversation with a water sign or with someone that you're in a relationship with. Things are clearer. You're going to be moving forward. Again, with flexibility. So you're both being a bit having to compromise, but it does look like a really good future for those in relationships. But those who are not in relationships, it's just really good for you gaining control over your feelings and emotions and actually making things happen, seeing things more clearly, speaking your mind a lot more, that kind of stuff, seeing the truth in situations, which is ultimately going to give you that happiness that you deserve in life. All right. So that's what I got for you. Let me know if it makes any sense to you in the comments below. If you want, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.